Fatma Asad said to please come and share thoughts. Fatma Asad is also one of the leading steering committee members for Women Leader for Board, and she's also the CEO of Abacus. Thank you, Fatma. Please
Thank you so much. Very quickly, thank you. And following this amazing discussion and the commitment to the Women in Leadership Institute, just been an honor and a privilege to be part of it, and just reinforcing it. Thank you, Zahid, for always being there in support for Abacus, and I'm very proud of the team that within Abacus, which drives the mandate and executes the mandate that we have. As an organization, we have almost 40 years now. We'll be celebrating 40 years in a couple of years. And the legacy has been about transformation, constant transformation. That's what we focus on, being the transformation partner. Our legacy of PwC, Coopers & Lybrand, and then now Abacus over the last 20 years, mashallah, it's growing. But it's not easy, because in a challenging world of digital disruption, at the helm of affairs, the leadership, not only at the board level or the C-level, it is leaders at all levels. That is our commitment. As we continue to deliver services across 30 countries, we are also looking at harnessing talent, and leveraging talent, which is very diverse, not only in terms of gender, but also in terms of culture, nationalities, thought process, and I think that, and age. And we're very cognizant of that within Abacus. So when we talk about leadership, we talk about three things which are intrinsic to the framework that we have and which has the board level support. Talk about living our values, which are sacrosanct within Abacus. 2 is about having an inclusive future, and inclusivity is also about drilling it down to the nth level within the 4,500 people that work within Pakistan. Our Pakistan entity now supports our international offices, which are across 30 countries. Allah ka shukr hai. But the challenge is that the talent that delivers is from Pakistan. I'm very proud of it. They're the ones who are delivering to all these countries and clients that we are serving. So inclusivity becomes fundamental for honoring and delivering on our D&I mandate. The last one is safety and belonging. Unless we have a safe environment, which is nurturing, which has dignity and respect for all, unless that culture permeates to the nth level, everything else gets derailed. My favorite quote has always been, one of my favorite quotes has always been Peter Drucker's, that culture eats strategy for breakfast. That is so true. And the challenge for me at the helm of affairs is, how do I ensure there's consistency of delivering our culture, where there is inclusivity, there is innovation and empowerment, but there is safety and security and dignity within all levels, within Abacus. So leadership, as I said, it's driven by our core values, very strong. How do we deliver it? How are we bold and transformative, yet we remain courteous, yet we leverage on our teams, and ensuring there's openness and accountability. Again, starts at the board level, ensures that our executive leaders understand what that means, and they ensure that their teams are synced in to that particular delivery. The results that speak, the homegrown leadership, 85% of our executive leadership is from within Abacus. And we ensure that we nurture them, especially after a certain level. We believe that if we develop leaders, not only men, of course, women, my personal mandate is to increase the number of executive leaders who are women in these positions. We're also a very young organization where our average age is 25. And if you take me and some of the board members out of the equation, I'm sure it'll probably drop even further. But that's what we need to leverage on the passion and the talent and the energy of the youth, where we have Pakistan is extremely blessed. But we must give them direction, we must give them opportunity, and we must give them an environment where they can excel and wherever they may go. The second is we talk about female staff satisfaction. By the way, just for your knowledge, the Mercer employee satisfaction survey, which some of our clients also use, we use it on ourselves on an annual basis. So that's a quantitative check and balance with employee engagement index as well as the NPS from a client perspective. That's my dashboard at the end of the day. So at 83%, the female satisfaction level is quite high. We have future readiness about how strong our brand is when we're going into international markets. The gender diversity ratio has increased. While the numbers are increasing, for me, it's more important to remain inclusive at all levels. We talk about industry-leading initiatives. Abacus Anywhere is actually been the heart. It was triggered by the COVID years, but it is now a mainstay within our organization. Abacus Anywhere essentially promotes remote working, but remote working has to be supported by an ecosystem of monitoring mechanisms, of good leadership where it's task-oriented. It's not about attendance, especially as a technology and outsourcing company. Now, it is very important for us to harness and leverage on technology and AI-driven solutions to manage our resources and also ensure higher effectiveness and efficiencies. We also ensure that there's equity. So at the end of the day, when the board or the leadership sits down for performance management, it's not gender-driven. It's about this is a resource who has added value, and we look at the KPIs, and therefore there is equity because they are part of our team. And of course, we run the numbers to ensure that the pay gap is not significant. However, the professional supersedes the gender. And that's a very important ethos to have within the organization. And of course, the leadership and teamwork benchmark, I hope it will be higher this year. So wrapping up, we talk about a flexible working environment, safeguarding our workplace and working with integrity, the understanding the policies. So communication is key. Recently, I was at Harvard and we did this case study over there and talked about one of these leading companies in the microprocessing computer chips industry, AMD, and the new transition of leadership. And it was a fascinating case study. And one of the changes she talked about and the transformation we talked about, we had a talk with her, and she said at the heart of any leadership or D&I or ESG mandate, especially with the digital disruption, is communication. You communicate 7 times, tomorrow you communicate 7 times again. And that becomes the success story of organizations which are agile, which are constantly transforming and ensuring that there are opportunities at all levels. And of course, inclusivity at all levels. So just a few pictures in terms of how we nurture talent and the D&I mandate at the heart of how we are growing and transforming. And these are some of the elements, so hopefully when we participate next year in 2024, 2025, and 2026, this was something will be coming out very strongly in the initiatives that we're undertaking, which are driven by digital transformation, about sustainability, and creating an approach towards how do we remain inclusive, especially the women, making sure they are rising, they're giving the opportunities, also being mindful of the fact that the tech sector is predominantly, Janara also spoke about that, predominantly male. So how do we create that ecosystem where we give those opportunities, where women, even if they're working remotely, can be part of the conversation, part of the contribution, and therefore part of the economic activity. The technology sector at the national level is doing quite well, but there's so much more that we can do in terms of skill development and very focused approach towards building that leadership to serve international markets. So thank you so much. I will wrap up with a video. I hope it's running. Just an insight into some of the things that we are doing. This was something that we shared, when we welcomed the new year. It's still the new year. But just a bit of an insight into some of the activities that we have at Abacus. So thank you very much, and let's commit to supporting each other and building a stronger Pakistan. Thank you so much.